Laurence R. Horn is a highly influential American linguist, known for his significant contributions to the fields of pragmatics and semantics. He is a professor emeritus of linguistics at Yale University. Horn's primary research program centers on classical logic, lexical semantics, and Neo-Gricean pragmatic theory, with a particular focus on natural language negation and its relation to other linguistic operators. His work is especially noted for his innovation in the theory of scalar implicature. He is also recognized for Horn scales, which are pragmatically determined scales used to calculate Gricean generalized conversational implicatures. His 1989 book, A Natural History of Negation, is widely considered a foundational text, comprehensively covering topics related to negation from Aristotle onwards. Laurence R. Horn was born in 1945. He pursued his higher education at UCLA, where he earned his Ph.D. Horn, Laurence R. 1969. A presuppositional analysis of only and even. Proceedings from the annual meeting of the Chicago Linguistic Society 5-1, 945 to 953. This is an early and highly influential paper where Horn begins to explore the complex semantics and pragmatics of focus-sensitive operators like only and even. It delves into their presuppositional and assertive components, a topic that continues to be a major area of research in semantics. Horn, Laurence R. 1972. On the Semantic Properties of Logical Operators in English. UCLA dissertation. This is Horn's doctoral dissertation, which introduced the concept of scalar implicature and laid much of the groundwork for his later work on Q-based and R-based implicature. It is a foundational text often cited in discussions of implicature. Before joining the faculty at Yale University in 1981, Horn taught at several other esteemed institutions, including UC Berkeley, USC, and the University of Wisconsin-Madison. He also taught at various Linguistic Society of America LSA institutes and at the Lot Summer School at Utrecht. This early period of his career laid the foundation for his extensive work in pragmatics and semantics, particularly his deep dive into the intricacies of natural language negation and its logical implications. He became known as one of the radical pragmaticists of the 1970s and was involved in the linguistics wars over generative semantics. Horn, Laurence R. 1978. Remarks on neg-raising. Pragmatics, 129-220. Neg-raising is a phenomenon where negation appears on a higher clause but is interpreted as applying to a lower clause, e.g. I don't think he'll come typically means I think he won't come. This paper is a significant contribution to understanding the conditions and mechanisms behind neg-raising, analyzing its pragmatic underpinnings. Horn, Laurence R. 1984. A New Taxonomy for Pragmatic Inference, Q-based and R-based implicature. In this foundational work, Laurence Horn introduces his influential Q-based and R-based implicature framework, offering a novel taxonomy for understanding pragmatic inference. Published within Meaning, Form, and Use in Context, Linguistic Applications, this paper argues that conversational implicatures, as first proposed by Grice, can be systematically categorized based on two opposing pragmatic principles. Q implicatures quantity-based arise from a speaker's not saying more than necessary, leading the hearer to infer that unstated stronger alternatives are false, e.g. some implies not all. Conversely, R implicatures relation-based stem from a speaker's saying no less than is necessary, encouraging the hearer to infer the most informative or stereotypical interpretation, e.g. he got on his horse and rode into the sunset implies a sequential order. This dual principle approach provides a powerful analytical tool for explaining a wide range of linguistic phenomena, from scalar implicatures to generalized conversational implicatures, and remains a cornerstone of pragmatic theory. Horn, Laurence R. 1985. Metalinguistic Negation and Pragmatic Ambiguity. Language, 121-174. In this highly cited paper, Horn further develops his concept of metalinguistic negation, distinguishing it from descriptive negation. He argues that metalinguistic negation is a device for objecting to a previous utterance on any grounds whatever, including its form, pronunciation, or the appropriateness of its use, rather than merely denying its truth value. This distinction has been crucial for understanding various pragmatic phenomena. Horn, Laurence R. 1988. Pragmatic Theory. In F. J. Neumeyer ed. Linguistics, The Cambridge Survey, Volume 1, Linguistic Theory, Foundations, pages 113 to 145. Cambridge University Press. This chapter provides a comprehensive overview of pragmatic theory up to that point, situating the various approaches and debates within the broader landscape of linguistic theory. It's an excellent summary of the field for its time, likely reflecting Horn's own perspective and the evolution of Gricean pragmatics. Horn, Laurence R. A Natural History of Negation, 1989, 2nd ed. 2001. Lawrence Horn's A Natural History of Negation is a monumental and highly influential exploration of the multifaceted phenomenon of negation in language. This comprehensive work delves into the logical, semantic, and pragmatic aspects of negation, tracing its historical development across various languages and philosophical traditions. Horn meticulously examines the different types of negation, including descriptive negation, metalinguistic negation, and privative negation, demonstrating how these distinctions impact meaning and inference. The book also extensively discusses the relationship between negation and scalar implicatures, the law of double negation, and the interaction of negation with other linguistic operators. Regarded as a seminal text in linguistic semantics and pragmatics, A Natural History of Negation provides an exhaustive account of how we deny, contradict, and express absence. Horn, Laurence R. 1992. The Said and the Unsaid. Semantics and Linguistic Theory, 163 to 192. This paper explores the distinction between what is explicitly said, the semantic content, and what is unsaid but pragmatically conveyed, implicatures, presuppositions. It's a fundamental discussion for understanding the semantics-pragmatics interface and how contextual factors contribute to overall meaning. Horn, Laurence R. 1996. Exclusive Company, Only and the Dynamics of Vertical Inference. Journal of Semantics 13-1, 1-40. This paper delves into the semantics and pragmatics of the English word only, analyzing its contribution to meaning and the inferences it triggers. Horn explores how only interacts with other elements in a sentence and how it gives rise to implicatures related to exclusivity. Horn, Laurence R. and Cato, Yasuhiko eds. 1999. Negation and Polarity, Syntactic and Semantic Perspectives. Oxford University Press. This edited volume, co-edited by Horn, brings together various perspectives on negation and polarity phenomena in language. It explores how negative expressions and polarity-sensitive items like any or ever behave syntactically and semantically across different languages. Horn, Laurence R. 2000. From If to IFF, Conditional Perfection as Pragmatic Strengthening. Journal of Pragmatics 32-3, 289-326. This work examines the phenomenon of conditional perfection, where an if P then Q statement is often pragmatically strengthened to if and only if P then Q P IFF Q. Horn explores the pragmatic mechanisms, particularly Q-implicature, that lead to this strengthening. Horn, Laurence R. 2002. Assert Auric Inertia and NPI Licensing. Chicago Linguistic Society 38 55-82. This paper investigates the licensing of negative polarity items NPIs like any or ever within a pragmatic framework. Horn argues for assert auric inertia as a principle that helps explain why NPIs are often found in negative or otherwise non-assertive contexts, linking their distribution to pragmatic strength. Horn, Laurence R. Ward, Gregory L. Handbook of Pragmatics, 2004. The Handbook of Pragmatics, co-edited by Laurence R. Horn and Gregory L. Ward, serves as an essential and authoritative reference for the field of pragmatics. This comprehensive volume brings together leading scholars to provide an in-depth overview of the diverse subfields and theoretical approaches within pragmatics, the study of language in use and context. The handbook covers a vast array of topics, including speech act theory, conversational implicature, presupposition, deixis, discourse analysis, and the pragmatics of specific linguistic constructions. Each chapter offers a thorough exploration of its subject, discussing historical developments, key concepts, ongoing debates, and future directions. Horn, Laurence R. 2006. The Border Wars, a Neo-Gricean Perspective. In S. Zekis, and L. R. Horn eds, Where Semantics Meets Pragmatics, pages 21-48. Palgrave Macmillan. This paper further elaborates on the Neo-Gricean program, addressing the relationship and sometimes tension between semantic meaning and pragmatic inference. Horn continues to defend the idea that many aspects of meaning often attributed to semantics can be explained through pragmatic principles. Kexks, Istvan Horn, Laurence R. Explorations in Pragmatics, 2007. In Explorations in Pragmatics, Istvan Kexks and Laurence R. Horn present a collection of essays that delve into various cutting-edge issues and ongoing debates within the field of pragmatics. This volume features contributions from prominent linguists and philosophers, offering diverse perspectives on topics such as the interplay between literal meaning and contextual inference, the role of culture in pragmatic interpretation, and the dynamic nature of communication. The book explores both theoretical advancements and empirical investigations, addressing how pragmatic principles operate in real-world language use, including cross-cultural communication and language acquisition. Horn, Laurence R. and Raffaella Zanutini eds. 2010. Microsyntactic Variation in North American English. Oxford University Press. This edited volume, co-edited by Horn, focuses on subtle syntactic variations within North American English dialects. While still relevant to pragmatics in terms of how meaning and usage vary, it demonstrates his engagement with syntactic research and the interplay between syntax and other linguistic levels. Horn, Laurence R. The Expression of Negation, 2010. Laurence Horn's The Expression of Negation further refines and expands upon his lifelong research into the linguistic and philosophical intricacies of negation. While building on the foundational work of A Natural History of Negation, this volume offers updated perspectives and new insights into how negation is manifested and understood across different languages and communicative contexts. The book delves into more nuanced aspects of negative expressions, including the pragmatics of negative polarity items, the interaction of negation with various grammatical constructions, and the cognitive processes involved in processing negative sentences. Horn continues to explore the distinction between descriptive and metalinguistic negation, providing further empirical evidence and theoretical arguments for their separate pragmatic functions. Horn, Laurence R. 2013. 5 Implicature. In C. Wright, B. Smith, and N. Burton Roberts eds, Routledge Companion to Philosophy of Language pages 75 to 88. Routledge, a concise yet comprehensive overview of the concept of implicature, likely summarizing his Q&R-based framework and discussing its implications for the philosophy of language. Horn, Laurence R. 2017. Litotes, Double Negatives and Unexcluded Middles. Philosophical Studies 174 1, 79 to 103. A more recent paper, this work delves into the fascinating phenomenon of litotes, e.g. not unhappy and other forms of double negation. Horn explores how these constructions often do not simply cancel out the negation to yield a simple affirmative, but instead convey more nuanced unexcluded middle meanings, further complicating the logical and pragmatic analysis of negation. Horn, Laurence R. and Turner, Ken Peter eds. 2018. Pragmatics, Truth and Underspecification, Towards an Atlas of Meaning. Brill. This edited volume, co-edited by Horn, explores contemporary issues at the intersection of pragmatics, truth, conditional semantics, and the concept of underspecification in linguistic meaning. It examines how context and pragmatic inference fill in details that are not explicitly encoded in the literal meaning of utterances. Horn, Laurence R. 2018. Words in Edgewise. Annual Review of Linguistics for 1-20. This is an autobiographical piece, offering Horn's reflections on his career, key intellectual influences, and the development of his research program. It provides valuable insight into the trajectory of his thought and his contributions to the field of linguistics. Horn, Laurence R. 2022. From Lying to Perjury, Linguistic and Legal Perspectives on Lies and Other Falsehoods. De Gruyter. This recent edited volume, where Horn is the primary editor, explores the complex linguistic and legal aspects of lying, misleading, and other forms of falsehood. Notes. 1 Yale Linguistics website. President's Linguistic Society of America. www.linguisticsociety.org. Retrieved April 2, 2022. Randy Allen Harris. The Linguistics Wars. Horn, Laurence 1989. A Natural History of Negation. Chicago, I.L., The University of Chicago Press. Reprinted 2001 in the David Hume series, CSLI, Stanford, California. See Anastasia Giannakidou. 2004 Review of A Natural History of Negation, by Laurence R. Horn, CSLI Publications. In the Journal of Linguistics 40:426-433. Barwise, K. John 1991. Review, Laurence R. Horn, A Natural History of Negation. Journal of Symbolic Logic. 56.3, 1103-1104. doi 10.2178 JSL 118-374-3767. Xie, Keoken 2003. A Natural History of Negation Review. CJLRCL. 4812, 127-130.